Hi, hello, and welcome. It's Daniela Weiss. What I'm going to talk about today is why allopathy is troubled. Well, for chronic diseases at least. And it's great that you're here because what is happening to us when we have a chronic disease has quite frankly become unacceptable. And right now, it's probably impacting your future, your life, or somebody you love's life, and your family, and everybody around you. So let me start with this. But don't shoot the messenger. You can research all these numbers yourself online. Don't take my word for it. In fact, don't take anyone's word for anything these days, especially when it's on Facebook or any social media. Allopathy and prescription drugs kill anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million people every year in America. And then there are some studies that claim up to 3 million people are affected by drug errors, whatever that means. And it's depending on which study you read and what is included and what not. Then it just becomes a numbers game. But in America, every man, every woman, and every child gets 10 teaspoons of pure antibiotics every year through prescription alone. And around 4 million cases are estimated to have been given antibiotics unnecessarily in the US for sore throat alone. I say around because nobody knows the exact figure, but 4 million is said to be conservative. You know, in 1994, a study came out and claimed that medical errors were not being reported. And it's according to a study in 2 obstetrical units in the UK that only about 1/4 of the incidents on the units were ever even reported. You know, when I was in my 20s, I was still quite sick. I started life out with ulcerative gastritis. So anyway, so in my 30s, I was quite sick. I was overweight. I had thyroid issues. My adrenals were shot. I was on statin drugs for cholesterol at age 20. And clearly, I wasn't feeling very happy at that time. And I went to the doctor, and they just offered antidepressants to me. And I was quite shocked that it was so easy to get them. And you know, when I was 20, the internet information wasn't readily available. But I had seen all the sexy billboards, and I really bought into the notion that being on antidepressants was normal, and it was insanely almost cool. And here's why I thought that. In 1995, drug companies had tripled the amount of money for advertising prescription drugs to consumers. And there were some very seductive television ads. And I recall seeing one ad that stated I would lose weight if I went on an antidepressant. In 2000, pharma spent around 2.5 billion on prescription drug advertising to consumers. So at the time, we walked into the doctor's office and we started asking for a specific drug. But here's what's important. We only need to look at the side effects of antidepressant drugs, for example, or any drug for that matter. But you know, patients seeking a happier existence and relief from worry and stress and anxiety, they fall victim really to these messages that are displayed by Big Pharma, and they're blatantly allowed to display them everywhere. And all I want to say is this: read the labels and read the leaflets. And you will learn all you need to know to make a real decision about what you want to put into your body, or worse, your children's body. You know, for children, so often the next step up is drugs and alcohol, because when you're certainly on antidepressants from a very young age, you can't really learn to deal with emotions anymore. And if you search Ritalin and addiction, just put it into Google and search for it, you will see what I mean. But so often, real depression comes from a gland. The parathyroid. Have you ever heard of the parathyroid? More than just the once, probably by coincidence? And do you keep in mind and even know that 95% of serotonin is produced in the gut and not the brain? Whereas antidepressants change the chemistry in the brain, but they never ever heal anything. They don't make you better or remove the cause. Learning to deal with emotions does, and herbs do. They're the best chemists on the planet. But what's worse, the real solutions are so hard to find now. They're out there, but all the people who practice this, what I call the art of enabling the body to heal, so often fall by the wayside, because those of us who actually do this don't tend to make a lot of noise about it. So very often people go to the doctor with a symptom and they get a pill to get rid of the symptoms. And doctors, in fairness, they don't tend to have a lot of time these days, and they are under a lot of pressure. So you get this pill and you go away, and a few weeks go by and you're feeling okay. And suddenly another symptom pops up, and it's seemingly unrelated. So then you go back to the doctor and you get another pill for that symptom. And it's the same procedure. And you're back in a few months with the next thing. So why is that? You've never removed the thing that caused the first symptom. You see, our bodies aren't like cars where everything else functions fine when one thing goes down. So when the tire blows, the rest still works. Or the oil filter doesn't work and you replace that, but everything else is still working even though that's not. No, we have a system of things that are all connected and affected by one of them going down. So I'll give you an example. The adrenal gland, for example, produces 50 different hormones. So it has to affect a lot more things than just the adrenal itself. But let's talk hormones here for a second. When we take hormone replacement, for example, what do? We don't actually repair the gland. What we're doing is we're actually doing the job for the gland. And what does the gland do? It just goes on a permanent nap because we're starting to do the job for it. So in doing all these things, you're only setting yourself up for stacking one problem after the next. And the thing is, they all seem unrelated, but they're not. And what's more, if you want to know what's not working and what needs to be fixed, there is a very simple thing you can do. It's look at your eyes. Your eyes tell a story about your cells. And the veins in the white of your eyes also tells a very important story. And that is how you find out truly what your body is really telling you. You see, blood only tells a little part of the story. It does tell a story, but a small part. I mean, for your kidneys, yes, you can look at your BUN, so your blood urea and nitrogen levels and your creatinine levels. And those are the things that will actually tell you a story about the kidney. So if your kidneys aren't filtering, your health is not getting better, and that is for certain. But your eyes tell a story about the cells. And what so many people don't realize is that that thing that causes so much confusion is that what works for a person with severe conditions is very different to a person who has some mild conditions. So once you start having noticeable issues such as rashes, constipation, bloodshot eyes, hair loss, floaters in the eyes, or or anxiety or depression, weight issues, burnout, adrenal fatigue, mood swings, dizziness and vertigo, or an autoimmune disease, chronic sinus problems, rheumatoid arthritis, etc. You urgently need to embark on a full-blown, deep tissue cleanse that is a true powerhouse and that has the ability to move out all the garbage that's in the way of your body being able to heal. Or you will run a high risk of stacking additional diseases, and then it becomes a lot harder to actually get out of this cycle. If you go with a one-size-fits-all, a lightweight detox without proper consultation and health analysis, not just through blood work or hormone analysis, you will not get the results you should have, and they never ever last. It's not enough at that point. At Reset Your Body, we go through a very thorough health assessment. Plus, we do an iris analysis before we create the personalized food plan, which may vary from week to week. But people are never hungry on that plan, and there are no chemical shakes or powders involved. It's all natural. We even supply the herbals. The herbals are so powerful in healing, and we only use the very best. That's just how we operate. So if you're after deep impact and a way to enable your body to heal itself, and if you want to do this by truly natural means only, and if you want to learn what you have to do going forward to course correct if needed, and if you know that getting a grip on this right now is the right decision, then it all starts with a very simple step. Make the decision, know it's available for you, and stick with the decision. Be determined. And that is really all you need to do at this point. At Reset Your Body, we coach and we help committed people who are looking for a made for them and done with them program go through the program in the best and most efficient way possible. And if that is something you're interested in, book a consultation at danielaryweis.com/apply. And during that consultation, we'll discuss your current issues. We'll talk about what you've tried, and we'll also talk about why it didn't work for you. And we'll explain to you what you need to do to achieve your health goal. And when you decide you're ready to deal with and take control of your health issues, book your personal consultation at danielaryweis.com/apply. And I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.